Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Raja Umar on my channel RU Speaks, and Raja Umar speaks for you for the subjects of Pakistan studies and global perspectives. And these days we are discussing the component 2 of Pakistan studies, that is the geography, the environment of Pakistan, and we are done with the unit of power sources. Now I'm going to moving towards really very important unit, that is the agricultural development in Pakistan. First of all, a request, do not forget to subscribe my channel RU Speaks. Raja Umar is for you, and all this stuff is available on my channel for you people. So get guidance, make yourself really well prepared for the subjects of Pakistan studies and global perspectives. Just hit on the playlist and you will get the desired videos of the subjects of these two, the components history, geography and global perspectives. I have talked about the component 1 of the global perspectives as well, the written exam, and also the component 2 of the global perspectives, that is the individual report, and you will find many of the topics of history, and I am done with up to 1939 of the events of the history paper, and I am done with about 7 to 8 units of geography. And today I am going to start the unit agricultural development in Pakistan. Very important topic it is, and I tell you that this is a bit lengthy unit, as we have to discuss the agriculture as a system, and we have also a presentation over here to discuss the small scale subsistence and commercial farming. We are supposed to discuss the major crops of Pakistan, that wheat, rice, cotton, sugarcane, and along with some other crops like maize, millet and pulses. So all these are there. We will talk about the growing areas of all these crops as well. Then we will talk about the livestock farming, that which sort of animals are reared in which areas, and then we will also discuss the fruit farming, and along with the factors affecting agricultural production, along with the land reforms of Pakistan and the problems faced by agricultural industry and the livestock farming. And in the end we will talk about the sustainable agricultural development, so that we may be having the good agricultural development throughout for our coming generations as well, without harming the environment. So this was a bit of intro. Now moving to my presentation today, and here we have the presentation, that is the agricultural development in Pakistan. This presentation explores the fundamentals of agricultural systems, major crops and livestock farming. We will explain how small-scale subsistence farming, cash crop farming, and livestock farming operate as interconnected systems of input, processes, and outputs. We will also identify key growing regions of major crops and understand the factors affecting agricultural production and sustainability of agriculture. So this will be covering whole of the unit of agriculture in Pakistan, and this will be really very handy for you. Do not miss it. So here, understanding agriculture, systems, crops and livestock. This is what we will talk about this one. Agriculture is the practice of farming, growing crops and rearing animals to produce food and other goods. This presentation explores the systems of farming, crops, livestock farming, and how natural and human factors affect agricultural production in Pakistan. So all these things will be discussed over here. Do not miss even a single second of this video. There is a greater learning regarding this particular unit for you. So here we have the agricultural systems, input, processes and output. So first we talk about the natural input. What are the natural factors which are required for carrying out the agricultural activity? Number 1, resources provided by nature. That is what we call the natural factors or natural inputs, including land. Land should be flat. Soil should be fertile. what happens that most of the students they consider this as a single point, land and soil. Keep in mind that they are two different points, whether the land is suitable or not, or the soil is fertile or not. So these are the two factors. So keep in mind, including land, soil, suitable climatic conditions, rainfall, I mean availability of water, sunshine, and temperature, optimum temperature for the sake of the growth of the plants, each critical for specific crop requirements. Each and everything of all these, I mean land, soil, climate, rainfall, sunshine, and temperature, for each and every crop there are certain requirements regarding all these things. So keep in mind that, do not forget that you are supposed to learn that these requirements, how they differ for each and every crop. We will learn in the coming slides. So human inputs, resources provided by human beings, including capital, I mean the investment, labor provided by the human beings, machinery, tractors, threshers, harvesters, tube wells, fertilizers, whether the organic fertilizers, cow's dung, or the chemical fertilizers like urea and potash, pesticides, seeds, whether desi varieties or high yield variety seeds, I mean the genetically engineered seeds, irrigation facilities, whether with the help of the tube wells or with the help of canal system or even carriage system, and knowledge that in which season which crop should be grown. I believe that knowledge is the most important human input regarding the growth of agriculture, of growing any of the crops. Now, processes. What processes are involved on these inputs, I mean the natural and human inputs? What processes are done to get the output? Processes, activities that transform inputs into outputs, they are known as the processes. For example, plowing the field, sowing the seed, irrigating the field, putting in the fertilizers in the field, weeding, getting rid of the weeds, harvesting, cutting the crop, getting the yield, and threshing to get the grains. That is what we call the processes of the agricultural activity, and these processes are done on the natural and human inputs. I mean, if land is there, soil is there, suitable climatic conditions are there, sufficient rainfall is there in that area, sunshine is quite sufficient over there, and temperature is optimum, then what would happen? That then the humans will invest capital, they will apply labor, they will use machinery, they will put in fertilizers, they will spray the insecticides and pesticides over there in the crops to protect them from insects and pests. They will put in the better quality seeds, they will irrigate the fields, and then they will utilize their knowledge to grow crops, and this will, whole of the things would be the processes of the agricultural activity. Now the output. After putting in the processes on human inputs and the natural inputs, we will get the outputs over here. The final products, they are known as the outputs. What we would get out of that whole of the agricultural activity, we will get crops, rice, wheat, cotton, vegetables, fruit, whatever, and livestock products, and income generated from selling the surplus. We keep them for our personal use, and whatever the excess is, we sell it into the market to earn profit, and that excess profit is again reinvested into the business of agricultural activity, leading to the development of agriculture. So this is how agriculture works as a system with the help of the inputs, processes, and outputs. And there are two sorts of inputs, that is the natural and human inputs. Now there are types of agricultural farming, that is the small scale subsistence farming, and we have the cash crop farming. Subsistence farming, I have said that it is on the smaller level, and it is it is only for personal use. Growing crops mainly for the people who work on them with surplus sold in local markets. Farmers often supplement income from other sources. They grow really very smaller quantity of the crops. They mostly grow for themselves first, and whatever the surplus they have, they sell it into the local market on smaller profits as the quantity is quite lesser. They use traditional methods and tools, smaller tools, traditional knowledge. They do not have the much investment with them. Relies on family labor and natural manure. They are unable to afford the chemical fertilizers. They employ traditional irrigation methods. They might be relying only on rainfall. If their lands are barani lands, or they might be using the conventional methods or the traditional methods of irrigation like Persian wheel, like Charsa, like Shaduf, or might be using inundation canals, or they might be using the tank irrigation. So it means that they do not have the access to the modern irrigation methods, and there are two factors. Number one, the access to the modern irrigation methods might be really very far away from them. Secondly, they might not be affording the modern irrigation methods. They use desi variety seeds. Desi variety means that whatever the yield they get this year, they store a bit of it for the next year's seed. They do not go every year to the market to buy new better quality seeds, but they keep on consuming their own some part of the crop for the next year's seeds. So that is what we call the desi varieties. They produces primarily for consumption by themselves. I mean for the personal consumption. Now the cash crop farming, that the agriculture is taken as the business. Growing crops primarily for sale in markets rather than for the farmer's own consumption. Here the agricultural activity is purely carried out as a business, and the major focus is to earn maximum profit out of that activity, agriculture. They use modern machinery like tractors, threshers, harvesters, combine harvesters, tube wells for irrigation, and many other machines to carry out the agricultural activity. Utilizes modern irrigation methods like they might be irrigating their fields through canals coming from the big rivers, dams, and barrages, or they might be having the tube wells, and they might be having those motors installed over there to pull out the sufficient quantity of water from the land to irrigate the larger area of the fields over there for better crop production. So they employs chemical fertilizers. They use urea and potash so that to grow crops really very well and really very quickly. So to protect their crops from the insects and pest attacks, they consume pesticides and insecticides. They spray these medicines over there on their crops. They also spray the sprays to get rid of those weeds which are self-grown weeds over there in that crop, and those weeds, they consume the soil fertility, and in this way the crop suffers a lot. So when those sprays are done on that field, those weeds, they just get away and they just burn away, and the crop is protected. They use high yield variety seeds. They are also known as GE seeds, genetically engineered seeds, and those seeds grow really very quickly. They grow really very healthier, and they even can grow whenever there is less water availability, or even in severe heat if there is the factor of climate change. So those seeds kept on growing, giving the sufficient production to the farmer. Requires skilled labor and capital, for running tractors, threshers, harvesters, and tube well operators, and even the specialized labor is required to carry out this activity over there. For this sake, this requires a lot of capital. the money for investment to be invested into the activity of agriculture. This is how we can differ between the small scale subsistence farming and cash crop farming. So moving on, major crops of Pakistan. There are four major crops here in Pakistan, and here you can see wheat crop. It is a Rabi crop. Rabi means the winter crop. The crop which is grown in the winter season. I mean, it is sown in October and it is harvested in April. So it means that October, November, December, January, February, March, April. I mean, this crop grows during the winter season and the winter months. And as the summer starts, this crop is harvested. Right? Used for bread and baked products, I mean baking industry. Grown in Nawab Shah, Nushair Feroz, Rahim Yar Khan, Bawalpur and Multan divisions. Requires 10 to 20 degrees Celsius for growing, 20 to 25 degree for ripening in the month of April. So here are the requirements a bit of. We have other requirements given over in the next slides as well. This was just an intro of the wheat crop. Now the next major crop of Pakistan, that is rice crop, and it is Kharif crop. It means that it is summer crop. It grows during summer season. When the wheat is harvested in the month of April, then the next month, in the month of May, the rice crop is grown over there, and we will discuss the whole of the process of rice crop as well. And it grows in very smaller region of Pakistan, but in larger quantity. So again, it is the food crop like wheat, and it is exported to the many of the countries of the world, and Pakistan earns a lot of foreign exchange. This is grown in Ladkana, Sindh, Sialkot and Gujranwala, Shekhupura, Gujarat region, and in Punjab. Requires hot temperatures, as that is why it is grown in the summer season, and 30 degrees Celsius the optimum temperature for it, and at least 1270 millimeters of rainfall per year. As you know that the rice crop grows in the flooded field, and if 2000 millimeters of water is provided, that would be excellent for the sake of the growth of this crop. Then third one, that is the cotton crop. It is also Kharif crop, and it is grown in some other areas during the summer season. As you know that here in the Eastern Punjab, Northeastern Punjab, Sialkot, Gujranwala and Central Punjab region, we have the rice crop, and in Central Sindh, Ladkana region. But at the same season, during summers, the Cholistan desert region like Bawalpur, Bawalnagar, Multan, Vehadi, Khanewal, Rahim Yar Khan, and in Sindh, Nawab Shah regions, they are having the cotton crop in the same summer season, when these regions, Ladkana, Sialkot, Gujranwala, Shekhupura, having rice crop at the same time, these regions, they are having the cotton crop over there, as the requirements are suitable for growing cotton crop over there, whether if we talk about the natural inputs or the human inputs. So this crop requires again the higher temperatures of the Cholistan desert, and 25 to 35 degrees Celsius temperatures, and medium loam soil. I mean the soil particle size should be medium, and if it is the larger one, then it would be quite sandy, and water would not be able to be having sufficient impact on the crop, and that would get absorbed really very quickly. So now the last one, that is sugarcane crop, and this sugarcane crop is again Kharif crop, and it is summer crop, and it is grown in some other areas during the same season, summers. Used for making sugar, brown sugar and gur. Grown in Nawab Shah, Faisalabad and East and Central Punjab. It is also grown in some areas of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa like Peshawar, Mardan, Sawabi and Charsadda districts. Again, this crop requires hot growing seasons, as it is a Kharif crop, as again it is the summer crop, and dry harvesting period, and during the months of October and November, this crop is harvested. So these are the four major crops of Pakistan. Now talking about these crops one by one. So first, talking about the wheat crop, and in today's lesson we will talk about the two major crops, I mean wheat and rice, and in the next lesson we will talk about cotton and sugarcane. So here we have wheat crop. It is Rabi, as I told you that it is winter crop. And what are the inputs required for this crop to grow? Cool climate, 4 to 19 degrees Celsius. As I told you that it is winter crop, definitely the temperatures would be lower. So canal irrigation is must if you want to have the better production of crop. And this crop needs alluvial soil, I mean fertile soil would be really good for this crop to grow better. So processes, as we are supposed to talk about the inputs, processes and outputs as we started with this unit. Processes sown in October to December, but mostly at the end of October, somewhere around 20th of October to 30th of October. Irrigated 2 to 4 times, mostly 2 times irrigation. And once 1 month after sowing, I mean if the crop is sown in on 20th of October, first irrigation would be given on 20th of November, and second irrigation would be as if it is going to be harvested on 20th of April, then 1 month before the harvest, I mean 20th of March would be the best time to irrigate that crop for the second time, as the grain over there in that crop gets swollen and it gets healthier and a better crop yield comes to us. So harvested in the month of April or May. The colder areas might be reaching to the month of May, but some hotter areas, central Punjab and south Punjab and Sindh provinces, they are having the month of April for the harvest of this crop. And output, grain for food, chaff, I mean the plant body which is shredded during the process of threshing, chaff for fodder or roofing material. The mud roofs or the mud walls constructed over there in the rural areas of Pakistan, they mix this wheat chaff in mud to make it stronger. The plaster, the wood, the soil plaster or the roofing over there in those areas where the rooftops are not solid ones. So human or natural factors, high yield variety seeds, I mean Maxi Pak is the seed variety which is considered as best one for Pakistani soils. It gives really very good production. I mean if in one field Desi variety of seed is grown and in the other field the Maxi Pak is grown, Maxi Pak would give you double production in comparison with the Desi variety. So mechanization, tractors, threshers, harvesters and tube wells are used for using machinery for the sake of better growth of agricultural production of wheat crop. Government support, as government wants that there should be more and more wheat crop farming should be done to meet the needs of the huge population of Pakistan, and government should not be importing this food item from other countries. So for that sake, government gives loans to the farmers to buy tractors, to buy fertilizers and to buy the high yield variety seeds, and give subsidies on the fertilizers. Low priced fertilizer is made available over there, and subsidies are also given on abiyana, I mean the water tax. If the lands are irrigated through canal water, the government reduces the tax on that water to be taken from the farmers, so that there should be the increase in the production. What issues we are facing because of for the sake of when we are talking about the wheat crop, that while growing this crop, what are the issues? Waterlogging and salinity, they are the land diseases. We discussed these in the water sources unit. And small land holdings, people have really very smaller fields and they are not really very much effective as they are not being managed well, and because of those small land holdings or land ownerships, the land is getting wasted. And you know that if we talk about those tracks between the fields, they are consuming a lot of land. If those tracks are not there and there are bigger fields, then the land efficiency would be increased. So here is the picture of wheat crop, and you may be getting the question of picture question to identify the crop, and if this sort of grain stock is given, then make sure that it is wheat and label it with wheat. You will be able to get 1 mark for this. And you can see here we have the growing areas, and you can see across Punjab, just excluding Khushab district, whole of Punjab gets the production of this wheat crop, and larger part of Sindh as well. The dark yellow color, this one has the major production of wheat crop. It is grown to larger area, and light yellow color areas where the wheat is grown but at lesser quantities. And these are the major areas of Sindh, Ladkana and Nushaira Feroz, Nawabshah and Nushaira Feroz, and here almost whole of Punjab is having the agricultural production in the best way. If I zoom it up, you will be able to see that these areas are which ones, and here you can see that in Punjab district Gujarat, Sargodha, Jhang, Gujranwala, Sialkot, Shekhupura, Faisalabad, Okada, Sahiwal, then Multan, Vehadi, Khanewal, Muzaffar, Babal Nagar, Bawalpur, Rahim Yar Khan and Muzaffargarh. All these areas, they are having the bulk growth of wheat crop. And down in Sindh province, you can see that Nawab Shah and Nushaira Feroz, these two districts, they are having the larger production of wheat crop, as they are the main areas of this color, and the rest is the you can say the medium or secondary regions where wheat crop is grown but alongside with some other ones. And you can be asked to describe the distribution of wheat crop farming in Pakistan. If this map is given to you, then you can talk about that the wheat is grown across Pakistan in all 4 provinces, but the major areas are the Punjab and Sindh provinces, and Punjab is having the maximum production of wheat in almost all major provinces of major districts of Punjab, and in Sindh province, Nushaira Feroz and Nawab Shah are the major regions. A couple of districts of Balochistan, Nasirabad and Jacobabad, they are having the wheat production but really very low in quantity, and few districts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa having the growth of wheat crop as well, and they are Bunair, Swat and Bannu districts. So in this way you will be able to explain the distribution of the wheat crop production in Pakistan, wheat crop growth. So I believe I should start this one in the next lesson, as you know that the rice crop is having a bit complex growing method. So I will explain this one in the next lesson. This is all from my side. Do not forget to subscribe my channel RU Speaks, Raja Umar Speaks for you, for the subjects of Pakistan studies and global perspectives. Keep watching. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.